everybody, welcome back for another episode of the Darwin's Room channel. You might notice I'm wearing the same thing from my review for Bring Her Back. That is because I'm literally filming this back to back. I went to the movies last night. I had a little double feature. I watched Bring Her Back and I watched what we're going to be talking about in this video, Karate Kid Legends. This was a movie that I was really looking forward to. Growing up, I loved the original Karate Kid films, and I will say I did enjoy the Jaden Smith movie as well. I know that a lot of people don't like it, and it's not necessarily well received, but growing up, I was really easy to please in terms of movies, so I enjoyed it just fine. So there might be like a bit of a nostalgic factor there. So anyway, yeah, I love the Karate Kid movies. However, I never got to watch Cobra Kai. I have heard that it's a great show. And that I'm missing out. And I'm sure I am. I just suck at watching shows because there's just so much to commit to. Whereas a film, you put it on, you're done in 2 to 3 hours, and that's the end of it. Whereas a show, I feel like you got to dedicate a weekend or several weekends to do it. And I'm the type of person where if I get into a show, I can't stop watching it. So I have a hard time with shows, but I do intend to watch Cobra Kai at some point. Don't know when, but at some point. But so I was really looking forward to this movie, but I was worried, you know, is it going to have a lot of Cobra Kai references? Am I going to feel lost? I am happy to say, if you're like me and you haven't watched the show, but you've seen the old movies, you are in good hands because I didn't feel lost. The story is, they do it in a good way where it's a secluded story. It has its references where you can kind of pick up on it. But it's a secluded story. You don't need to watch what came before to understand what's going on here. This is a new story with new characters. And then, of course, they bring Macchio and JackieChan on screen to kind of bring the nostalgia factor there. And I had fun with this movie. It's been getting a lot of negative reviews, and I don't know what's going on. I enjoyed it. You know, I don't know, it seems like the last couple reviews I've done, I've seemed to enjoy things that other people have not been enjoying, but I don't know. I liked it. You know, I'm not saying this was a perfect movie. It has its issues, most definitely. But this is a fun movie. The thing that I really appreciated about this film is that it's a feel-good movie. You know, it's one of those like inspirational films. And there's such a clear passion behind the pen of martial arts, kung fu, karate, all of that, and a love for not just the fighting, but like what this means, the discipline of it. And there's such a passion for it that I think is so evident in the writing and in the way that the characters are written and put together that you can't help but to appreciate it, at least in my perspective. The lead character, he does a good job. Actually, you know, everyone does a good job. The performances are good. They're not great. There are a couple moments where the performances feel like they could have been a little bit better, and they feel a little bit under-rehearsed, I guess you could say, but never enough to take me out of the experience. I think they did a fine job, and I think that they have some bright futures. You know, all of the cast here did good work. You know, I really enjoyed everybody. I particularly loved seeing JackieChan. I've always loved JackieChan in whatever he does. So it was just so cool to see him in this film. And I know that maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Some people want it, some people don't. I would love Rush Hour 4. So when JackieChan and Chris Tucker can get together to make Rush Hour 4 happen, I'll be lined up to see it right away. But I will say, hopefully that would be the last one. I don't think they should do more than just a fourth one. It would just be a nice little reunion, kind of closure kind of thing. But Jackie Chan, he's so great in this movie. And seeing the guy from the first one, Macchio, I love seeing him and Jackie Chan interact. It was so cool to see kind of like these two childhood icons interacting, you know, on screen as they're mentoring the lead character of this film and training him for a tournament. So it was really kind of like a heartwarming element to see, and everyone has good chemistry with one another. The supporting characters are all great. Like, there wasn't any annoying supporting characters. Like, everyone felt purposeful. Like, everyone felt like they had a purpose in the film, and I really enjoyed just the dynamics. Like, I feel like I just enjoyed watching this movie because it looked like they were enjoying making the movie. They were having a good time, so naturally that's going to make me feel like I'm having a good time, you know? And the story, it's simple, but it's engaging, you know, and it's interesting, and I really enjoyed it. There's some solid action sequences, you know, like really solid. The fight choreography, stunt work is impressive. It's the way that it's filmed is really stylized and it looks good. There's no shaky cam. You feel like you get nice wide angles where you could see all of what's happening on screen, and it's really entertaining. So I highly enjoyed it. It was just a cool movie. I really liked it, but there are issues with it, particularly one that I don't know why this felt that way and why they wrote it in this way. But unfortunately, this film does feel like it's extremely indecisive between two plots. There's the beginning plot where our lead character is helping train a boxer in the form of martial arts so that to kind of upgrade his technique in the ring so that he can win some money in a match to keep his pizza shop from closing. And it is a heartfelt story, and I actually really enjoyed that part of the movie. But that part of the movie, it wasn't really shown in the trailers. The second plot of the movie is what's shown in the trailers, which is when the lead character is being trained by Miyagi and Han to fight in the tournament. You know, I think it's called the Five Boroughs tournament. And while both plots are good, I just don't understand why they didn't just pick one plot and go from there, because this film feels very overstuffed. And since it's jumping between two plots, the dynamics of the characters feel rushed. Particularly the end, the whole third act feels very rushed, because it's not until the third act when the lead character starts training for the Five Boroughs tournament. And there's a montage, like a training montage, which feels really rushed. There's some character dynamics between the lead character and his mother that feels heartfelt but rushed, because they didn't take enough time to explore that, because it was split between two plots, and it feels unfocused in that way. And then the final fight, you know, like the big tournament fight, it's good, but it feels rushed. And I don't quite understand why they did it in that way. I'm sure that when they were, you know, when they finished filming the movie, they were in post-production and trying to get the movie spliced together and everything. I'm sure they watched it, and I don't know how they didn't see how rushed it felt. Because I think there's ways that they could have fixed that. And maybe it was too late in the process, you know, it had already been written and filmed and it would have been too much of a delay. I don't know the story of what happened, but I do feel like it's two movies that got jumbled into one, and they did with it what they could. So that part is disappointing, because I feel like it would have been so much more emotionally impactful if it was longer and took more time to develop on those relationships, because the chemistry between everybody, solid. The performances are good. The connections that people make with each other are great. And it's just that you don't get to see enough of it for it to be properly and emotionally impactful by the end. Like, again, the lead character and his mother, they have a great dynamic, a really touching dynamic that could have been super engaging, but they didn't focus on it enough to make it matter in the end. And then JackieChan, who is the main mentor for our lead character, his friendship and connection with the lead character's mother, a nice dynamic there too, but not enough attention to it for it to be emotionally impactful later in the film. And I think the reason that all of this happens is because it's stuck between the two plots. And I also love the connection between the lead character and the boxer, the pizza shop owner, and the pizza shop owner's daughter, who is kind of like the first friend that he makes. All of the connections here are so well done and so well written, but they just aren't given enough time to feel, you know, like for you to feel it, you know? It just feels rushed and it feels a little bit abrupt. And that's kind of the big issue with this film, where it really starts to stumble and kind of fall apart a little bit, is that unfortunately it just feels really rushed. But if you can get past the fact that it feels rushed and just appreciate it for a fun sequel that brings some legacy characters from the original Karate Kid movies, and let this be just like a fun addition to the filmography of this franchise, then I think you'll like it. You know, I really enjoyed it. I know a lot of people haven't enjoyed it, but I think they're judging this one too harshly. It's not a 5 out of 5. It's not fantastic or anything like that, but it's a fun movie. I really enjoyed it and I appreciated it. And I think there's a lot to like about it, you know, and I think that it's well intentioned and for the most part, decently executed. So I'm not gonna harp on it too much. I can see people rating this movie lower at like a 2.5 out of 5 or a 3 out of 5. Me personally, I had more fun with this than I had issues with it, you know? So I'm gonna give Karate Kid Legends a 3.5 out of 5 stars. This is a solid sequel. You know, it's a solid legacy sequel that follows up the original story and brings us a new modern story. And it's great, you know, and there's some good callbacks and heartfelt elements, and it's a feel-good movie. You feel good watching it. I felt happy watching it. It made me smile, and I like that, you know? So if you want a feel-good movie, an inspirational, fun time, I think this is worth a watch. And it's not long either. I think it's like an hour and 35 minutes, so it is an easy watch. Pop this in, go watch it at the theater, or when it comes out, pop it, you know, in your DVD player. Support physical media, please. Please, 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 don't stream. Support physical media. But watch this movie. It is a good one. If you like the original Karate Kid movies, I think you'll enjoy it. You know, it's not nearly at the same level of the original, but it's good, and I really appreciated it. So, what are your guys' thoughts on Karate Kid Legends? Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below and let me know. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate all of your guys' support as always. It really means a lot to me. Every single view, every like, every subscription, I really appreciate all of you guys. I do this for fun. I do this just because I love movies and I love to talk about movies and I love to share that passion for movies and some TV shows with you all. So I really appreciate you guys listening in. Again, let me know if you have any suggestions or requests for movie reviews, and I would be happy to do those as well. I might not do a full review for some of them, like if it's an older film, or if I just don't have the time, but I'll probably do a YouTube short, you know, like a short video here on the YouTube app, to be able to share some thoughts on some of those requests and suggestions. Thank you guys again for tuning in. God bless you all. Take care, and I'll talk to you guys soon.